I told you I could not wait till we got back to talking finances again.
It's so good.
I knew it would be good, and it was good. Let's talk about Sister Wives, Season 19, Episode 18. Sister friends, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Oh, I am telling you, when we were watching it live together on Sunday night and we hit the first commercial break, I told everybody, okay, done. Like, mic drop. After the first segment, it was already 10 times better than all of the whole last episode. And I would have been content if they would have just put fluff and filler in for the rest of the episode. But it didn't disappoint. It was good all the way through. I am so happy that we are talking finances. And still, even at that, there are so many details we still need to work through and try to figure out. I don't know if we're going to be able to. Let's just dive in. Let's dive in. We're going to start right at the beginning. And thank you, TLC and Puddle Monkey. I'm giving you love this time. I'm giving you love. You done good. We open it up right away talking money. Money. So we are on Meri's front porch and her friend Jen is there. And we know that for the past few years, Jen has been the voice of reason that we always want to bring back on the show. She seems to be the one that is telling Meri, listen, Meri, no, Meri. Robyn's not your friend. Meri, Cody's done you wrong. Meri, watch out. They don't have your best interest at heart. And now she's telling Meri, you get your bank too. Yes. Yes. Kody has been stealing from these women all this time. Yes, I said it. In my opinion, he is just outright stealing. He is being his own evil Robin Hood. Robin Hood. I just thought about that. He's being his own, taking from the OG3 and giving to Robyn, the poor lowly woman who came to the family in debt. Except Kody forgets it's still a crime. It's still a crime. And quite frankly, that woman got out of debt like that.
And thank you to the entire Brown family.
And Robyn, or should we say Robyn and her interpretive definition of a plural marriage, which is come in, become head wife, let everybody support you, take all the time and all the money, but call yourself a plural wife. A Plobin marriage. Well, she has been living high off the hog and enjoying herself for 15 years. It's over. It's over, Robyn. It is over, and I am here for it. I have to tell you, since the first episode when they introduced her, I did not like this chick. You know how sometimes you just get that feeling about somebody, and she's all sweet and nice. She was saying and doing nothing in particular to make me not like her. But sometimes when you know, you know. Sometimes you can just read between the lines. You get a sense of someone's energy. You can almost taste the fake that's coming off of them. And something was disingenuous about her from jump. I had a 1 episode relapse of thinking she was nice when she offered to carry a child for Meri. And then I went right back. And now, in hindsight, I realize she knew Meri would never do that. And if Meri said, yes, I'm taking you up on it, and she did go through with it, that would mean Robyn would have Meri right where she wants her. And Kody could forever say, after what Robyn did for you, carrying your child, how could you ever say you're not going to give her 50% of your income? How could you ever complain that I'm spending time with her? It could have been
a disaster.
Nightmare. An absolute nightmare.
Meri made the best decision by saying, yeah, no, Robyn is a surrogate, not a great idea. And wouldn't it be great to sit down and pluck her brain and go through what her thoughts actually were at that time? Do you think that Meri back then was already thinking, this could be a trap? I don't think I'm going to go down this road. Because it would have cost the family no money. I'm sure the in vitro, that would have set Meri back a lot of money. I'm sure the family fund wasn't going to pay for the in vitro.
No.
Seems like the family fund is more confusing now than it ever was in the past. Okay, we'll get to that. All right. Oh, I've got so much to say. Great episode. Okay, we start off with how Meri met her dog Zona, yada, 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 yada. Okay, you want great dog stories, go on Rocky Kanaka's channel. Highly recommend it. He has millions of subscribers. It's amazing. If you want a feel-good shelter adoption channel, that's the one to go to. All right, I'm going to start off saying that Meri, we have two Meris here, right? We have the Meri in current time, which we don't know exactly how long after the time she met with Kody is, or how long since the most recent phone call she's had with Janelle is, but I'm gonna guesstimate that it's probably a month or two of time that's gone by, and Kody's dragging his feet and they're just getting anxious and nervous, right? Maybe a few months, maybe more. Because Kody doesn't move. He's sloth-like when it comes to doing anything. He runs around like a wild hare, just like Robyn says. But again, let me point out, Robyn's choices were he's either a wild hare or a highly intellectual being. No. He's either a wild hare or a sloth that just hangs in a tree and refuses to move forward on any decisions / actions on anything. He'll think about things, he'll talk about things, he'll do nothing.
Side note.
Hey, all of you out there in the psych field, is that a characteristic of narcissism too? I should look into that. If anybody knows, write it down below. I think it is in the covert narcissist, kind of that failure to launch. Would it fall under that maybe? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know what you know. Okay, let's move on. So as Meri's talking on the porch, I'm going to put a clip in here of Jen listening to her. And I love Jen. Jen has that, I don't know, like prison guard, school teacher, kind of, maybe those aren't good examples. I can't think of a good example, but it's this nodding. It's hard for me to identify it because she's very loving. She seems like the sweetest lady in the whole world. And she clearly has a very deep love and concern and relationship and friendship with Meri. She wants the best for Meri at all costs. She is the definition of a friend. Did you hear that, Robyn? If you're watching, just watch Jen. That's what a friend is. A 180 from how Robyn has been acting for over a decade. All right, so Jen's face is just that. She has like her chin up a little bit. It's almost smug, but in a supportive, I'm gonna kill him way.
Let's get him!
It's like smug for Meri, as opposed to Kody's chin up smugness of, I'm so great, and I'll show you. I'll put you down in your place. I feel like Jen wants to match Kody's smugness and negative energy and just come at him like, they'd be great in a ring together. There's a pay-per-view event that would make the channel a lot of money. I mean, my money's on Jen. Oh, yeah, my money's on Jen. I love it. Okay, let's go on. Okay, so we haven't even talked about anything. Meri has not uttered a word yet. And how far in the review are we? Oh my goodness. I'm not doing this the night of the show. This is the next morning. I needed to get some rest because I knew this was going to be a doozy. Here we go. Okay, so I'm pausing it and I'm watching the show to refresh my memory because I don't want to forget anything. That's why these videos end up being so long. Well, Meri did give us a timeline. She said, you're not going to believe this, she said it has been a year since she divorced Kody. So the episode that we just saw, was it 4 or 5 episodes ago when she went and got the release? Let's go look it up. Let's see. Okay, where is the release? Release. Oh, it was episode 5. Wow, how time passes when you're having fun. 5, where are we right now? Episode 18? 18. 13. It was 13 episodes ago. Okay, so that was winter. And then Okay, so I know Thanksgiving has already passed before that, if these are chronological, because the twins were born the week before Thanksgiving, and they're already born. We see snow outside. Meri asks for release, and then they have Christmas. So it must have been somewhere at the beginning of December. And again, this is TLC. And then she said she was going to be moving soon. There's her moving. Kristen gets married the next October. So this is after that. Okay, they might be out of order. Okay, so going back, looking through the timeline of the episodes that we've seen this season. 13 episodes ago, she asked for the release. Isn't that crazy? Doesn't it seem like it was yesterday? 13 episodes ago. Now, TLC messes things up all the time. They don't put things in order, so we can't rely on following it chronologically.
Oh, that reminds me.
Here's an example of a little clip that MacLeod had in one of her Patreons as she's trying to follow the timeline of TLC. Unrelated to this season, but here is a classic example when we get confused. Somebody in their own family is confused, trying to follow the timeline of TLC.
That was her birthday? That was May. Wait. Her birthday's in May, and then they did Easter.
Oh, Easter already happened.
Yeah, but her birthday happened last episode. Easter happened this episode. When is Easter? Easter's April, right?
Mm-hmm.
This timeline is very confusing, guys.
It's not us. We're not the crazy ones. It's TLC screwing up the timeline. Okay, so she asked for the release. When she drove there, it didn't look like it... Well, I was going to say when she drove there, it didn't look like it was snowy. It could have been footage from another time. According to the timeline on this episode, the twins were born, there was Thanksgiving, Meri went to ask for the release, then there was Christmas. Then we have the rest of the year, and we just had Christine's wedding, which was October, so we are about 1 year. So this is, and she said it's been over a year since she asked for the release. So we're now coming up on a year. Can you believe it's been a whole year since the divorce and still Kody has done nothing with the land? At any rate, it clearly has been paid off for a while. And even before it's paid off, they can still make plans on what they're going to do with it and who they're going to sell it to. Okay. I just wanted to get it all together in my head because maybe you're as confused as I am because, you know, TLC timelines.
The worst.
So Meri's frustrated, okay? She keeps going to Kody and saying, hey, what's going on? Can I help you with this maybe? She's offered to help him on anything she can do. No, I've got it covered. Janelle, nothing's coming out with that. So Meri decides to formally write a letter, smart, probably advised by a lawyer, formally write a letter that goes to both Janelle and Kody and says, listen, the land is paid off. It's just sitting there. Let's move forward. And Janelle responds and says, yes, I'm on board. Let's move forward. What do we need to do? All this time, what response do they get from Kody? There's no communication. Nothing. One of the lines that Kody actually had the nerve to say to Meri, again, he treats her like a child. Now, admittedly, for many years, she acted like one. Not anymore. Not anymore. Ooh, I love the new Meri. I love her. She is standing up. She has discovered her backbone, and she is using it to stand up straight and speak up for herself. She found her tongue, too. She does have the best one-liners as well. Okay. I will admit, she spent many years being told what to do and how to think. Many years. Growing up your childhood, I mean, it's essentially what parents do when you're very young. This is what we do. This is what we believe in. This is where we go. This is what, here are the rules. Parents are supposed to keep their kids safe. They also instill the values that they have on their children because they believe it's going to make them great people. And then the kids grow up and they start making their own decisions. The issue with Meri, and I think a lot of people in polygamy, I would say Christine is exactly the same, is that they were very good and very pious and they followed what they were supposed to do, listened to everything their parents told them until they got handed off to a spouse and then submitted and listened to everything that spouse told them. To a fault. To a fault. It's like they didn't think on their own at all. Kody thought for them. I'm sure in many situations it's way worse. But in general, on this episode, we'll see Christine just like giddy that she can make decisions about business and all that. Like she was suppressed, and Meri was suppressed too. Kody doesn't think that Meri is going to fight back at all. He has been grooming her and preparing her for many years.
Where we are now is I actually like you. Now.
And especially at the very end about, I really like you now, Meri. I think as friends, we're great together. Really pouring it on so that she does not turn against him. She does not share all his secrets, and she does not try to get any of his money that he's taken from her. She does not try to get her fair share. He doesn't want it. And she has been okay, as we saw in the season finale, when she wanted more than 2 acres of land, everyone else had 4, and now there's extra land. Can she get 4 too? He said, I don't think so. And she goes, okay, I understand. And she didn't say it in a way of, oh, I submit to you, okay, I understand. But she acquiesced in the end. There was no fight back. There was no, well, what do you mean? Let's talk about this. That's not right. How is that fair? There was none, no pushback. Now she's away. She's always been living on her own, but he's always been able to mind control her. Because she's not living in Flagstaff anymore, which I'm sure he's not thrilled about, loses a little bit of control when she moves away. Now, her eyes are opening up. 1 year later, after the divorce, she's seeing clearly. And she's listening to the right people. Is it possible, and this is the point I wanted to get at originally, is it possible that she has gone from mom and dad to Kody to Jen?
Whoa!
That she's still not completely really thinking on her own, but she's following what Jen is telling her. It's possible. I don't care. Right now, I don't care. If she were on her own without Jen, I think she'd be waffling. I think she would not know what to do. I think she would be at the mercy of falling back into the trap of Robyn telling her that they're best friends. And Robyn telling her, well, come down and visit. And Meri would be the one who'd have to make the effort. Robyn would never take the kids up to see her in Parowan.
Heck no!
We've talked about that in the past. And also, I think she would be saying, I want to find another man. I want to be in a relationship. But let's face it, she did love Kody. So he would be continuing to manipulate her and doing little things like he did there at the very end after being as viscerally mean as he could to her on that couch. And then turning around and saying, you know what, Meri? I really like you. Because as soon as he said that, as mean and rotten as he was to her, as soon as he said that, she went, oh. You know? And when the girlfriends later on were talking to Meri and they said, oh, he's going to regret his decision. It's not the reaction of, yeah, well, his loss, or I don't care, or I hope so. Let him suffer for just a second. No, it was, yeah, he probably will. You think? She's still stuck there. I feel like this is the first episode. I don't know how much time has passed again, but this is the first episode where we're starting to see a truly independent Meri from Kody. Independent of Kody. Starting to think on her own. Is it supported by Jen? Maybe. Don't care. You know why I don't care? Because I think Jen is solid. There's not a thing that's come out of that woman's mouth that I disagree with. Not yet, anyway. On top of it, she just laughs all the time and likes to have a good time, which is a great thing for Meri. I see no downside with Jen. So if Jen has to be the bridge to get Meri to truly be independent, living on her own and confident in herself and realizing I don't need a man, we'll get to that, and Meri is shifting her dependence of her thoughts and ideas and decisions onto Jen for now, I say it's okay for a couple years. I mean, she's been in a lifetime. She's been 50 years dependent on somebody else. So if it takes a couple years of her depending on somebody who's really good, who thinks straight, who can see it clearly, and who has her back, okay. I'm sure a therapist would totally disagree with that.
Maybe.
But my logical brain says it's okay. Because I really do believe that Jen is also the person that if she sees Meri starting to rely on her as a crutch, that Jen would say, you know, you need to make these decisions on your own now. You've been out for X amount of time. I don't know. You do what you want to do. This is my part of the business. You do that. You're the boss. Like, you know, I see Jen as being that person, so I'm okay with it.
Fair enough.
So Jen asks if she likes the lawyer that she sent over and recommended for Meri. And Meri said, yeah. And she said, we're all ready to go with him.
So did you like that attorney that I sent to you? Yeah. I mean, we're all set to go with him.
So I wonder if Janelle and her are going together in with this lawyer. Originally, I thought they both lawyered up separately, which I would get because independently and separately, they're their own people. But really, in the end, I don't know. I don't know law. I know I have lawyers that watch this channel. You lawyers, behest, you lawyers. Let me know. Would it make sense that they would have the same lawyer since they're both going in for the exact same thing and they both really do? They both have the best of intentions. They just want what is fair, which I don't agree with. I think they should go kicking and screaming and fighting for more.
I agree.
Both those women put in a lot more. I mean, at least get a lot more out of Cody and Robyn. I don't know. Write down below. Lawyers, write down below. Let me know. Okay, one of my favorite scenes in this episode is coming up now, and that's when Meri says to Jen, while she's explaining the situation about how Janelle came to her, telling her, you need to protect yourself, you need to get what's yours, you need to do what's fair. And Meri was doing that. We all saw it, that episode where we were screaming and we were like, Meri, wake up. He does not want what's best for you. And she's like, I think he's gonna be fair, don't you? I mean, she was still la la land like a teenager in love. Boy, makes me so sad how much she's in love with this man. I don't know how she is.
No clue.
Whew, we need to find a good man for Meri. Does anyone have a good man for Meri? Send it to Jen. Okay. So she tells Jen, I thought that he would be fair. And Jen gave the best eye roll. After the eye roll, which was a great one, she goes, I'm sorry, I just made myself dizzy with that. So good. Jen's like, you thought he was going to be fair?
Yeah, so Janelle was kind of telling me at that point that she was going to be getting a lawyer. And I'm like, we don't need to do that. Cody's not going to do that to us. He's not going to make... Sorry, just made myself dizzy. That was such a good eye roll.
No. Gosh, Meri was in it thick because she had this friend who felt that way and was saying things like that to her this whole time. And still, she felt like Cody had her back. Boy, Meri was just, blinded by something. I don't know, blinded by ignorance, blinded by stupidity, blinded by the culture she was in, or blinded by love from Cody, maybe a little bit of all of it, but blinded. I'm so happy to see her see the light. Okay, let's go on.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone.
So now we have the explanation of why there's a breakdown in trust. The talking head interviews are going back and forth between Janelle and Meri, and they're both sharing how they're getting nothing from Cody. He's either not responding, or according to Meri, he's just throwing out a bunch of legalese and she doesn't know what he's talking about and he's not being clear. And she's like, can you just speak English and tell me what you want to do? Do you want all the land? Buy me out. Are we going to sell it? Let's do it. It's very simple. We also know that Cody likes to use a lot of flowery language to confuse people, because he's confused and he doesn't know what to do. So if you can get the other people to be confused, then they'll be frozen in time just like he is and not challenge him, because I think that's how he's gotten through in life.
I don't know legal stuff. I don't know. Like, Cody pulls this jargon out of his butt. I can't tell if this is something that you're making up because it sounds good, something that you're trying to twist to make it look better in your favor.
I'm just going to talk all this goobly goop around y'all, and you all are not going to understand what I'm talking about, so you're not going to question me, because he was the patriarch. Now he's getting questioned, and his patriarchy is getting questioned, and his manhood is going to be questioned when he has to answer questions to another lawyer and answer to a judge in the end. Cody does not like authority figures. This is so good. I'm seeing the future, and I'm loving it.
And the future is looking bright.
In the end, Janelle also says he will go very long periods of time and just ghost No response, don't know what's going on. She said, he could be just taking all the land out from underneath us for all we know. We're just sitting there. His name's on everything. What is he doing? He will not communicate with them. So he's breaking down all the trust that we have in this family by behaving this way.
So we don't hear from Kody and we go through these long periods of time and it really makes you think, what's going on? It doesn't make you have a lot of trust that things are going to go fairly.
Jen describes Meri perfectly in this situation right here and gives her a great piece of advice.
Because you've always been so like, I'm going to be gentle. Time to be a cactus. Don't be gentle, be pokey.
And then here is, did I say I had another favorite line? I had a couple favorite lines. I don't know. This might be my favorite line in the episode. Here it is.
Maybe don't fully trust what anyone says. However, in this instance right now, it really does feel like the only one who has given you information that has been useful and helpful has been Janelle. 100%.
Yes. Sister wives unite. I love that Meri now recognizes what we've always known and always seen. Janelle is pure at heart. Janelle just wants what's right and what's just. And in her mind, back when they were living as a polygamous family, that was, I'll live in a trailer even though Robyn lives on a mansion. That's okay because she said that's what she needs. If that's what she needs, then I'm not going to question it. I'm going to give all my money into the pot. I'm going to give the proceeds from the sale of my house so she can buy that mansion on the hill, even though we need that money to buy Coyote Pass. But I'll go talk with her personally and say, do you really need to spend $800,000 on a house when we're trying to buy Coyote Pass? Can you have something smaller in the meantime just so we can start building? In the end, when they said that's what they needed, it's an investment for the family, Janelle said, okay, what's best for the family? She has always been more than fair. Almost a pushover in another way, quite frankly.
You know, I really thought so too, but I wasn't gonna say anything.
So Meri sees that now. Meri didn't know what she was doing with the finances before. It seems apparently clear that people thought Janelle was handling the money. And Janelle wasn't handling the money. Now that everyone understands that and that Kody has been in charge of the money, now Meri sees Janelle for who she really is, and she realizes this is my ally. And Jen's backing that as well, which is great. Love it. Love this whole scene. Love this whole scene. I could go back and rewatch this whole opening segment, although the segment's not over yet. How long is this video going to go? I could watch it 10 times. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, this is halfway through the episode. Thank you for sticking around, and this is your opportunity to hit the like, subscribe, and bell, and leave a comment down below for me as well. Back to the show. So we go out to Coyote Pass now, and this is like another insufferable scene of Kody. Very funny how Kody says this about Robyn.
I finally told Robyn that I really can't stand the idea of living here, or at least at this point. Robyn, I think, was the last to give up on the dream, but she's finally consented. Yeah, let's go ahead and sell.
Kody says Robyn was the last one to give up on the dream. Robyn was the last one to wake up. Robyn was the last one to separate reality from fantasy. That's another way to put it. Kody is just acting like an ass this entire segment of meeting this real estate agent. Dude, check out my view. That's the first thing out of his mouth. First thing out of his mouth. Dude, check out my view.
Dude, check out my view.
Hi, my name is Kody Brown. I'm very excited that you're here to take a look at the land and possibly... Like, there's nothing professional about this man. Nothing. He apparently has run businesses his whole life.
No, he hasn't.
But cannot act in a professional manner like a businessman or like he has a brain between his ears. Ridiculous. Let's go on.
Kody called me off one of my listings that I had that he wanted to see, and kind of, he's kind of walking like this, coming in the doors, hair was all frizzy, and kind of energy, man.
I love how he didn't say his hair was like curly. His hair is all frizzy. Such a negative thing to say. It's so good. I could put a bunch of clips in here too, but I also want to point out we have a serious case of dad bod. Again, nothing against dad bods. It's just we have a plethora of clips of Kody insisting he's got six-pack abs. Usually the man with the six-pack abs also doesn't come walking in like doop 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 doop. Such a monkey. And as I said on Sunday night, Kody once again is wearing another one of his Baby Gap polo shirts. Too small, too short, a size or two, and it just makes that big pot belly look even bigger. I love how he intentionally does things to himself to make himself look more ridiculous that he thinks looks great. Kody, you don't look like the hot model in the picture who's wearing the shirt that's too small. Size up. Twice. It's the same thing with the hair. He does that intentionally because
it's indescribable.
And now starts the scene of Kody rambling on and on and on about his personal life to the real estate agent, who's got to be thinking, one, don't really care, but two, keep talking. Because the more you're talking, the more it sounds like you have issues and you also don't know what's going on in life. Like, Kody's making himself sound less and less and less educated the more and more he talks. The agent is seeing $, $$ just blow up in his head. I'm going to be able to work out an amazing contract with this man. I think I can get him to give me 11% and convince him it's the best deal in town. I'm not going to put a lot of it in here because it's insufferable.
I'll spare you the gritty details.
Kody just talking all about himself and all about his dream for his family and how it went apart. Don't care, says the real estate agent in his head. On top of it, Kody's saying, basically, I'll take whatever you can give. I'm not going to be a difficult client. I have these wives and things are messy and all that. And so we're just now like, oh, let's just cut it off and just sell the property.
And I think everybody just wants to cut and run.
So this guy's like, whatever I can sell it for, like I can flip this thing overnight and make so much money. I'm not going to get him great money for it. I'm not going to get him the best deal. I don't need to. It's in my best interest to get this guy off my hands as quick as possible.
It's crazy.
And to flip an investment as quick as possible. Yes, ideally, the more they sell the land for, the more the agent makes. But again, the agent's percentage is significantly lower. It's in his best interest to flip it, make a small ton of money rather than a slightly larger one, and then get another property that he starts working on. In the long run, in the end, he makes more money at the end of the year. Kody is just setting himself up again for failure.
We had a big family and we went through a big divorce. And that big divorce is just, now it's just like cut, right? Get out of the property.
The man knows nothing about business. He knows nothing about negotiating. We've seen this in the past. We could count the ways of all the horrible negotiations and contracts he's been in, and situations and meetings where he looked like a fish out of water. Well, here's another one. But the fun part about it is he's talking like this and kind of in his hyper energy and going on and on and on. And he's acting like he's in control, as he's completely out of control.
I guess my main question would be is looking at it.
For sure.
I mean, we got a bunch of junk. Big questions. Obviously, I would have to move some of my equipment.
Can we stay on topic?
Yes, it's probably...
All right. I'm going to insert this because it's probably the cringiest moment of this episode.
That's debatable.
And this is Kody attempting stand-up comedy. It's so bad. It's like I had to laugh out of the uncomfortableness of watching him try to make a joke to the real estate agent. So bad. Okay, let me put it in here.
I have an ex who was here living out of an RV. That's not good for a marriage, so don't ever try that.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
And especially if you've got dogs in the RV. But
especially if you have dogs in the RV. But he does the pause, waiting for the laughter. Oh, and I know nothing about comedy, nothing. And yet I can analyze that like the amateur I am and see it from a mile away. He's such a dork. All right, this next line I have a question about. I didn't catch this on Sunday night when we were watching it together. But so he was explaining about the trailer that's there that used to haul water. And then in terms of the other equipment on the property that he said, I know I'm going to need to get rid of this. I'm sure all the neighbors love the fact that he uses property as a junkyard for the past 7 years. He said the other equipment is just like businesses. businesses that I just had to mothball that were unsuccessful. So he's had other businesses that were unsuccessful that he's had to just put aside. And he's got all this equipment on this property affiliated with it. What equipment do you think it is? What businesses? Did he try to cut down trees and peel off the bark to sell it to lumberyards and they didn't want it maybe? Maybe he did it incorrectly and they like it done a certain way. Maybe they prefer actual loggers to do it for them. I don't know. That would require equipment in terms of, lifting the logs and getting it on stuff. Maybe other flatbed things similar to this trailer that he used to haul the water. I would think it would look the same. I don't know. We can't really see in the view. What are these other businesses?
Inquiring minds want to know.
That Kody had. Maybe these are all these businesses that keep him so busy. But now we know that they have all been unsuccessful out of his own mouth.
I hate saying this, but it's not the most civil of relationships anymore.
Photos and it's very mad, and I'm just like, don't do that. No, I'm not doing it.
We talk to the public,
Okay.
and then it comes back to me, and I was like, I'm not talking to her ever again.
Right.
It's just like thirsty and all, like I was waving, but it keeps getting.
It's back and forth. I'm just as guilty as them, but they're just as guilty as I am.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
This was originally supposed to be a really special place for an entire big family.
Oh, baby, you go. I just got there.
That dream has died, sadly.
I'm just going with myself.
And that would also have to include me sort of getting over what has happened. This place is a heartbreak place for me.
Here I am. I'm just going. I'm just going.
So here's Kody claiming, is he admitting or is he claiming? This is what I don't know, that he doesn't have money. He says that Janelle wanted him to buy her out of her 4 acres.
Janelle suggested I buy her out. I'm like, how? I don't have that kind of money.
Is that a lie? Is that an outright lie? How did they buy that other house that they just bought if he didn't have enough money to buy 4 acres of land? Unless the whole thing was a contingency thing. We just didn't see it show up in the public, the sale of their house, before the purchase of the other one was there. I don't know. I don't know the logistics of that. Again, I'm not in real estate either. Not my field. I don't know. I'm not going to try to figure it out. If any of you understand how that all worked, let me know. Unless this whole thing is a lie, and he had a ton of money, well, I guess he could have bought it with, will anybody sell you a house with no money down? I suppose if they know you are on a television show and they looked at your contract and your money, I guess they could. Too much hypotheticals here. Just trying to figure out if this statement right here is an utter lie, or if he really did not have enough money to buy 4 acres of land. And he is living paycheck to paycheck. That is my hope and my prayer. Let me tell you. Kody's interpretation of the women's stories, of them saying we long periods of time without hearing from him at all, and then they'll respond again and say, hey, what's going on? This is Kody's interpretation of that.
I don't know the answer well enough to be able to move on it, but I got these 2 exes going, I want this, let's do, what are we doing, what are we doing? And I'm like, I don't know. So they're nagging me, which is great, because I just got 2 ex-wives who were total nags, now nagging still.
He's also a real bitch.
Nagging. The man can't make a decision and do anything. It's been a whole year, and Meri's like, it's been a year. What is going on? Janelle wants to move on in life. She wants to buy property somewhere else, but Kody's name is on it. She can't do anything. So every couple of months, she's like, Kody, what's going on? What are we doing? What's going on? And he says, they're nags.
Deflecting.
It's rich. Have we ever seen Janelle be a nag about anything in the past 19 seasons, 15 years we've been watching the show?
No.
I I can't recall one. Kody does come back and tell the real estate agent that if it's going to take a long time to sell the property and he hits the jackpot somewhere, which I think is a very interesting line, because one, we know he likes to gamble just based on photos of all the times people have taken photos of him in casinos gambling. And look at him. That's his life. He lives his life that way. And McKelty has said in her Patreon that her dad is always looking for the next get-rich-quick scheme. He's never gotten an honest 9-to-5 job. The closest he's ever gotten to a real job is when the kids were tiny, tiny little. He was a billboard salesman. But even at that, it was him just leaving the house and driving around all day trying to get people to buy stuff. It still wasn't, it was based on commission, largely. A very, very small base salary, but sell stuff and then you make a lot of money. But Kody can't sell anything. Could you imagine him coming in and trying to sell you something? I would be like, one, he's either on something, or two, he is the epitome of a greasy sales who doesn't himself believe anything he's saying, but he's trying to get me to believe it. He's not the kind of man that you feel like you can trust any further than you can throw. And you can't throw that dead bod very far. Okay, there's more and more and more of him going back and talking about the family. I'm not going to put it all in here. Ridiculous. But what I started saying, I almost forgot, is that he said if he hits the jackpot, i.e. finds another get-rich-quick scheme or hits it in the casinos, he would probably buy one of the parcels, keep one of the parcels, buy it back, if you will. But other than that, yeah, sell it all. So he keeps waffling back and forth. Do I sell it? Do I keep part of it? Do I sell it? Do I keep part of it? It seems like he really wants to keep part of the land. He's got a sentimental attachment to it, which he flip-flops about that too. Sometimes he's like, this land brings me nothing but turmoil and stress, like he says with the house, which makes no sense because the land was really everybody's. The house has always been his and Robyn's and the kids. So the fact that the house is bringing him any kind of stress means Robyn and Robyn's kids are bringing him stress.
True facts.
Let's call a spade a spade. On Coyote Pass, that has always been the whole families. It was the family all there together. It was them all running in the cesspool. It was the dream always. He doesn't want to let go of it. He can't let go of it, depending on the day, depending on which synapses are firing and which part of the brain is working that day. In this moment, he's saying he would like to keep a small portion of it, but he has to hit the jackpot in order to do that. So, based on that and the talking head, it sounds like he doesn't have the money to buy one parcel of the land, one parcel of it. Where is all the money? He has more than enough money in just his salary from this year at TLC to buy it. He and Robyn each are getting something like $40,000 an episode. Boy, wow, where are they blowing through the money? Is crazy to me.
This is the last thing that kind of connects some of us. I think that's another reason why it's hard for me to let it go.
I don't know what Robyn is talking about. Robyn never liked anybody but Meri. She never liked Janelle's kids at all. It's been years since they've all been together. They literally are only in each other's presence at weddings and funerals. I don't understand why Robyn wants to be connected to all of them. I don't know. According to her, those kids do nothing but bring turmoil to Kody and her. It's our family and then them out there, right? I don't understand it.
There was once upon a time, there was trust and love and, you know, a future. So, yeah, it's just crazy how much it just went.
It's crazy. Crazy. I don't know how it happened.
God, I'm so confused.
I'm still sitting here trying to figure it out.
There must be someone to blame.
She doesn't watch any of this stuff on YouTube. It's like the 200th time we point out that her playing victim and innocent and stupid is actually comical. It gets more comical each time. What is going to be her storyline after there's no Coyote Pass left? There's nothing left to talk about blowing up. That's why she wants to hold on to it. She wants to hold on to it because then she has that connection. So she has a storyline. Bingo! Her only other storyline is her relationship with Kody. That can't be that good. I would not want to be putting that on television because we're seeing a lot of cracks already. And you know that they're trying to put their best foot forward. At the very end, Kody says for the second or third time in this episode, how about we walk the whole property so you get an idea of all this?
But I'm curious, do we need to walk the whole property for you to get the idea? So we're going to take a look around, walk the property a little bit. Let's do this.
At least sit there and then
go to the fence line. If we walk the fence line, we might see the markers. We'll see exactly where the lot line is.
Yeah.
And we can go from there. Go.
Why does he always want to walk the property? I don't understand. I mean, maybe he really loves that property. Maybe he does. Maybe he has fallen in love with Coyote Pass.
Well, Meri, since you want to build on the property, we should go walk it.
He loves that land. Things. Kody loves things. He likes to accumulate stuff. And maybe this land to him is something that was precious and it's slipping out from his fingers. He can't afford to buy the women out, so he's got to let it go. That's not even true, though. Let's think about this. He gets a quarter of it. Robyn gets a quarter of it. How can he not afford to buy one parcel when he owns half of it? What does he have to put that money in? Has Coyote Pass sold? That doesn't make any sense, does it? You're going to sell it. You're going to give a quarter to Meri and a quarter to Janelle. And you're keeping half of the proceeds, which is significantly more money than what you paid for because it's appreciated in value over time. But he's saying he has to sell that half. Something is not adding up. Something's fishy here. We need to get to the bottom of it, people. This story doesn't make sense. Can you believe that was only a quarter of the episode? Some of this I might be cutting out and just putting in a separate video. All right, we have a segment now of Janelle sharing with Christine her exciting news about buying the land in North Carolina. She has a little slip at the beginning as she's doing the interview and says, I'm really, really, really excited about it and I can't wait to share it with Kody and Christine.
I've got to tell Kody and Christine about it because, that's old habit.
The phrase Kody and Christine, she's so used to saying it together as like one thing. Isn't that amazing? At the time she was doing this interview, it's probably 2 years after Christine left Kody. Old habits die hard. But I love it. In that Talking Head interview, Janelle is so excited. She is so happy. And then there's a Zoom that her and Maddie do with Christine. And can we just pause and say, okay, Janelle, Christine, beautiful ladies. The glow-ups these women have gone through, amazing. They are so happy, so light, and so beautiful. They look like completely different women than were on the show. I love it. I actually talked about that in the video that I recently recorded and have been editing, which is the first installment, season 19, episode 1, of me talking to my son about Sister Wives. That'll be coming out soon. Keep your eye open for it. So Janelle shares that she bought 165 acres of land with Caleb and Maddie. They're all going to be flower farmers. I believe they're probably going to build houses out 165 acres. Of course they're going to build houses out there. So they'll have their own little compound. Janelle will have a little cottage house. She didn't need much. She'd be happy in a trailer until it's done. Caleb, Maddie, and the kids, the grandkids will be close by. I'm just so happy for her. I am so happy. This is a dream, and she can be surrounded by all her flowers. It's not going to be a business of, well, she said that the flower farms are a booming business in North Carolina. I don't know if it's a booming business in terms of being profitable in terms of selling the flowers, or if it's more like we have a lot of sunflower farms and wildflower farms around where we live, where you can go, you pay a price to just go in and you walk amongst them and you know, they're photo ops for Instagram. They have sections where you can buy bundles of flowers where they have already pre-cut them and they have them for you that you can purchase there. There's usually a donation jar for some cause that they're supporting. And as she mentioned, it can become a venue location. I do like the idea she had of putting up a bunch of little cabins there and just having it be like little Airbnbs, letting people come and stay and just spend a few days and walk amongst the flowers. Oh, sign me up. I'm there. And Christine is so happy for Janelle. She's like, all your wishes and dreams are coming true. Happiness. It was good. It was great. And all the people who keep complaining that the other episodes are not good out there, y'all have to enjoy this one, right? Because I liked all the other ones too. I mean, okay, last episode, not so good. I concede, not so good. This one made up for it. This is more than doubly good. I'm loving it. We'll talk about it on Tuesday night. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Sister friends, take care. Have a great day tomorrow. God bless. Bye-bye.